Okay, so this Genius Hour stuff is kind of crazy and overwhelming, and I totally get it. So I wanted to show you an example of what I did for Genius Hour, because I wanted to learn about something new too. So I tried to think of, what am I passionate about? What do I love to do? What do I get excited about learning about? What do I want to know more about something? So I made a little table here, Genius Hour ideas, and these are the things I'm passionate about that I would love to learn more about. So I said reading, drawing, baking, and painting. And as I was thinking about all those four things, I had to kind of narrow it down and choose which one I wanted to learn more about and do something. And so I decided I was going to think about painting. And I love painting already, and I've painted with acrylic paints and I've painted with watercolor paints. But then one of my friends, she started doing this new type of painting called gouache painting. And I didn't know what that was all about, and I was really excited to try it and think about it and learn about it. So I chose gouache painting as my Genius Hour. So I went forward with the planning stage. So I have my topic, gouache painting, and I came up with 3 questions. I wanted to know, what is the technique to do gouache painting? What materials do I need to do gouache painting? And maybe some tutorials of how to actually do it. And I'm a very visual person, so I was looking at a lot of videos and seeing how people were doing it to learn. Then for research, I got some books and I looked up some video tutorials, and I decided my final product was going to be paintings, and I did 3 different paintings. So as I was going forward, I had some books about painting that I had for inspiration and ideas, and so this one's called Everyday Watercolor Flowers, and gouache is kind of like a watercolor paint, and so this gave me a lot of really fun ideas of how to paint different flowers. So I had that one. And I had this one, which was more for oil painting and acrylic painting of flowers, but it shows step by step of how you do painting flowers with acrylics. And since gouache is kind of in between watercolors and acrylic paintings, I used this as a place for me to get more information too. I also looked up a bunch of videos and tutorials, and as I was doing those things, I was taking notes about how I could try this gouache painting and what I was learning as I was researching. So these were the things I learned. Gouache painting is like watercolor, but has more coverage, so it's not as see-through like watercolor is. A little bit goes a long way. So they only give you these little tiny tubes of paint, and you only put a tiny little bit on your little paint wheel here. Here's what I just used, the leftovers, but just a teeny tiny bit, and then you add a little bit of water to kind of make it a little thinner. So a little bit goes a long way. And from the things that I was reading, they encourage you as you're painting to look at real pictures and not just copy other people's paintings, because you want to be your own artist. So I thought that was really cool, so I wrote that down. And with gouache painting, it's really easy to layer colors. So you start with the lightest color and you go to the darkest color. So I tried with some of that. And like I said, these were the paints that I got for this. And I had some watercolor paper, which is really thick paper. So this is what I tried. So the first one I did was of some poppies, and I painted some poppies. And so it was really fun because I got to layer the colors. Like I said, I started with a light color and I got to the darker. So that was really neat to learn how to do and to practice. Then after that, I got excited and I did a second painting. This is daffodils. And then you can see the layering paint. I started with lighter and then I got to the darker by adding on top of it. And then my third painting was just a little picture of flowers. So I was really excited and I got really inspired and I kind of want to do some more. So it was really fun to learn about that and go through all the research and taking notes and practicing. So that was just my idea that I had for me to show you kind of like what I'm looking for with what this Genius Hour is going to look like. And I'm so excited to see what you guys do and what you want to learn about. So make sure that you're asking me questions if you're still confused, because I'm totally here to answer questions.